Shy.
And there you are. Welcome. Come on in. There you are. Welcome. Come on in, guys. Don't be shy. Good to see everybody. Come on in, guys. Come on in the romper room. Good to see all our friends in here. And this is kind of a reconnect stream, and we are most definitely been doing a lot of work on doing a lot of work behind the scenes on all the new infrastructure, and it's time to reconnect and it's time to steam forward. So let's see who's in here. Let's say hi, and we're going to do a little Planetary Union coaching today. Yeah. Well, he's here. He's always here. Well, he's not always here, but he's usually here. Sorry, I gotta. This is my backup camera. I'm a little. I don't think, as one of my friends in acting used to say, nobody should be this close to the camera, to such a high definition camera. And of course, Tiantelli is here. Good to see you, Maria. April is here. Hello, Mommy. And I think that Mommy is about to stream shortly, if I'm not mistaken. Please feel free. We're not going to be here for too long, so feel free to put in your thing when we're wrapping up your link, Mommy. And never fear, Arg is here. Arg, you're not supposed to use the Inspiration TV. There you are. Yeah, that's the one you're supposed to use. Never fear, Arg is here. May Sandra, good to see you. She's listening from work. Good to see you, my friend. And say hi to Raymond for us. What are you up to today? Are you flying today, Sandra? Lord Thoth, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for thank you for popping in here, my friend. This is a weird camera. This is a very weird camera. It's just my computer's camera because we're improvising today. So awesome to see Lord Thoth in here. Salute back. I salute back. We can salute all day long. Huh? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. So give me one sec. Let me just take care of one thing. 1 second.
Somebody in the chat doing now today there.
Of course, taking too long, so he fills in. Thank you, Arg. Good to see everybody. All right, so updates. We're about to launch the Inspiration platform. We have a couple of setbacks, and the two main directions of our little media empire here is going to be Orville Sci-Fi. Whoa, this camera is just. I think I'm on camera and I'm not. The Orville and Sci-Fi and personal growth, cool stuff, and Discovery Channel stuff. Those are the two directions, and between Orville Nation and Inspiration. And so good to see you, John DeMarco. Good to see you, my friend, and all your Illuminates. I have isolated my Illuminate clip for John, and I have to cut it. That's all I need to do. And all I need to do is cut it, and you'll see what I mean when you see it, John. I know I'm teasing you, but I do have a clip for when John pops in here. So we're about to launch Inspiration TV and the Inspiration platform, and these are basically two of my passions. Sci-fi, the Orville, Star Trek, sci-fi in general, and personal growth. And I think that it's interesting because we've come to a point where in our society's development where both of these are intertwined, and I think they're very much intertwined. So it makes sense. Let's move forward. And so, guys, today we're going to talk briefly about the seeds that you are planting every day. And what I mean about seeds, when I mean about planting seeds every day, is basically our mind is always engaging in activity, right? Now, that activity doesn't necessarily mean, as our friend Bob Proctor used to say, that mental activity does not always constitute thought, right? Thinking. And I agree with that. There's a lot of mental activity that's going on, but you're just not conscious of yourself, of your surroundings, of your situation, of what you're even thinking about. So I think that thinking requires some awareness. And so there's always a lot of mental activity going on in your mind, and you might not be aware of it all the time. And that mental activity causes feeling, right? I should put up a diagram for this. Let me see if I can come up with a quick one. So your mental activity, what you're thinking about, what your mind is involved with, and it doesn't always qualify thinking, but what your mind is involved with a lot of times it's just reacting to external stimulus, right? What's going to happen is that your subconscious mind is going to mirror what's going on in your intellectual mind, and it's going to produce feelings, right? One second. I'm trying to get a... good... There we go. This is good. Yeah, this one's good. Okay. So I'm going to share an image here. Share an image. You guys don't need to see me any closer. Hey, good to see you, my friend. Planting seeds requires appropriate soil. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a farmer. You can get the best seeds. If the soil ain't good, it's not going to work. Unless you got magic seeds like Jack. But no, that's true. There needs to be fertile ground for certain seeds to develop. Absolutely, my friend. There just needs to be certain fertile ground for seeds to develop. So let me just show you guys I just want to put up a visual aid for this. So oh, they switched up. I haven't streamed so long. They switched up StreamYards on me. What? There we go. Okay. Like it just looks a little different. All right. So, Well, this is good enough. Okay. So basically, in our intellectual mind, which is the top part of so this is basically this is basically what Bob called the stick figure, the stick person, and it's got, it's just like a big circle head on a little stick body, and the top of the circle is the intellectual mind, and the bottom is the subconscious emotional mind. So our thoughts in the you guys can see the cursor, right? Yeah. So our thoughts in the intellectual mind, basically what ends up happening is we reflect into the subconscious mind, and we cause emotion, and that emotional vibration is basically what we emit to our surroundings, to our universe, to the people around us, and what we project, right? And I want you guys to think about that all the thoughts we are having during the day. And this is like when you hear somebody like Jim Rohn, who was Jim Rohn was amazing gentleman. Yeah, he was one second. All right, well, I'm not going to pull that up now. Jim Rohn was Tony Robbins' mentor. Tony Robbins' mentor, Anthony Robbins' mentor. And Jim Rohn would say, it's important for Jim Rohn's mentor, actually, Earl Schoaf, talked about standing guard at the gates of your mind. And standing guard at the gates of your mind means to be vigilant about what you are focusing on and what mental processes you're allowed to, entertain in your conscious mind. Now that you mentioned it, those magic seeds that produce trees with money instead of leaves that Nigerian prince sold me haven't bloomed. You don't suppose they got scammed? That's funny, dude. That's funny. Yeah, the Nigerian. Oh man, I seriously hope you didn't get scammed by the Nigerian prince scam. That's funny, my friend. So basically, during the day, we are, and again, all mental activity does not constitute thinking, right? Thought, or what we would like to qualify as thought. There's a lot of mental processes going on. There's a lot of reaction. There's a lot of association. The mind is really all about association. So you see something, you come across something, you hear something, or something, a scenario pops up in front of you, and so like your mind is already in association, creating links to similar things that have happened to you, or experiences that you've had with this scenario in front of you, or this thing you heard, or this thing you saw. And basically, and those thoughts that are running through your head, or those mental processes, sometimes it's thought, sometimes it's not. Those mental processes that are going through your head are going to cause emotions, right? They're going to filter down to the emotional bottom half of the mind, subconscious mind, and your entire being is going to project out a certain vibration, right? And I know sometimes this can sound a little mystical, but it's a lot. This whole concept is simpler than it's really quite simple. And it can sound a little mystical, but that's just the way it works. And what you think about causes your emotional state. Your emotional state causes your reality. Now, what does that mean? that means that your thoughts or mental activity is causing an emotional response, and therefore helping create your reality. What does that mean? That means that you're walking around all day long, like our farmer friend here. You're walking around all day long throwing seeds out. And let's just say that the ground is more fertile than you might think. Now, if those so it is important. Basically, what you focus on intellectually is going to cause emotional involvement with the subconscious mind, which is going to help form your reality. And basically, you're walking around you're walking around throwing seeds all day long with your mind. You're throwing out seeds all day long, and those seeds are gonna, they're gonna hit the ground, and most of them are gonna take some form of root and life, right? Nice diagram, but I guess the fact that our psychological state filters the stimulation we receive, and that our beliefs have to do with interpretation of the environment. Yeah, our beliefs have so much to do with the interpretation of our environment. Absolutely. And this again is a tool. This is a very basic tool. The stick person we're using is a very, very basic tool. And obviously, your interpretation of the environment is key. And the interpretation of your environment can be more optimistic, more pessimistic. And that is something we're going to talk about another day, because how you interpret your reality has a lot to do with your results. And even if you come across stuff that you don't like, and even if you come across stuff that is not ideal, right? How you interpret it, you have free will to interpret. And this is a great comment, because how we interpret our environment has everything to do with that emotional response in the subconscious. How we interpret has everything to do with our emotional response and what we're gonna project out to the world, right? To the universe and to our surroundings. If both you and I receive the same stimulus, we will interpret it differently, because we are different people and we have different beliefs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful. Wonderful comment, my friend. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Smell is also a big trigger for memories and feelings. Amazing how fast it takes your mind. Yeah, it is impressive. And a lot of people say that how a smell can take you back to a certain moment, or to a certain person, or a certain situation. Hey, Philip, my evil Vulcan friend. Good to see you. I hope you are having fun there on Metalis Prime. Is it Metalis Prime? You know, hitting the hitting the Romulan ale with your evil Vulcan buddies. So all day long, we are dropping seeds on fertile soil, in the sense that consider that we are like living, and I don't want to say a simulation, because it's so much more than a simulation. But we are living in an interactive reality where, like our friend is saying here, how we interpret our environment and how we interpret our surroundings or interactions is going to influence our emotional response, and that is going to in turn influence our results in life. And so I want you guys to think about just, like Jim Rohn said about standing guard at the gates of your mind. Be aware what you are entertaining in your mind. Be aware of the mental processes you are allowing to occur. Be aware of am I spending too much time in this internal reaction to something I'm seeing or to something I'm living, or and hey, Kronos, good to see you. How much am I spending? How much mental energy, how much psychological, emotional energy am I spending on something that is occurring? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is the key question. And a lot of times we spend time in mental activity and even thought, mental activity that qualifies as thought. We spend way too many intellectual resources and time on things that are not worth it. So, in short, the comment I want to say to you guys today is stand at the gates of your mind and don't entertain thoughts that aren't worthwhile, that are going to cause emotions that are not worthwhile, that are going to cause results that are not worthwhile. Because basically the whole process here, the whole process of thinking, feeling, and projecting out to your environment is helping create on some level your reality, your surroundings, your interactions with people on so many levels, like socially, social dynamics, and how you view situations, and how you interpret, how you view certain things, and on so many levels you are going to influence your environment. And on the more mystical side, on this quantum level, about attracting certain situations, attracting people, attracting negative things, attracting whatever. It might sound radical, but I think that the best way to make someone review his life, his beliefs, is to have him out of his comfort zone. You're not likely to reevaluate your beliefs when everything is going okay. Yeah, that is absolutely getting yourself out of your comfort zone is good on so many levels. And it's primarily getting yourself out of your comfort zone is primarily, one of the fundamental aspects of obtaining growth in your life, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Wonderful comment, my friend. And quantum mystical. Yeah, basically what I'm trying to say, what I'm referring to here is that Chronos, what I'm trying to refer to here is that we help create our reality in so many ways. And I know it's becoming very trendy, to refer to our reality as some kind of simulation. I think it's much, much more than that. It's definitely interactive on some level, and on many levels, excuse me. And that's why I meant that, on a quantum mystical level. Yeah, this is a great comment. And I suggest, by the way, that a lot of times with clients, one of the things we do is we suggest to them, take yourself, when we help them, we suggest ways and they can do it. Take yourself out of your comfort zone. Try different things. Do something you normally wouldn't do. Say something you normally wouldn't say. Volunteer for something you wouldn't normally do. If the status quo is not going to get you growth, There may be a certain few exceptions, or because life tries to wake you up, but in general, maintaining the status quo is not going to get you growth, and getting out of the comfort zone is key. And no, it doesn't. It doesn't sound radical. Um, and reviewing and it does, and getting yourself out of your comfort zone does make you reevaluate your belief systems, right? And help evolve your belief systems, right? Hey, Jim, good to see you. Good to see you, Commodore Productions. Good to see you. So, excuse me one second, guys.
You know how much I love my hot tub now, Paige.
How much you love your hot tub? Oh, I mean, thanks for filling in for a sec, because I'm taking too long to drink water. But how much you love your hot tub? Okay. Thank you, Arg. So, guys, so I want the moral of today's quick planetary coach chat is we are intellectually throwing out seeds all day long onto this matrix fertile ground, right? And sometimes it won't germinate, or you won't see it, and a lot of, and sometimes you'll see teeny tiny things beginning to sprout, and you might like it and you might not like it, and you say, no, I don't want that. We are truly living in an interactive universe, and a lot of this really trendy stuff about talking about 3D, 4D, 5D. When some of these some of these more mystical type individuals are talking about 4D and 5D reality aspects, 4D really refers to the fact that we can interact with our environment on some level. So, or at least being aware that we're interacting with our environment. A lot of times we think about things such as coincidence, right? A lot of times we think stuff is coincidence, and not. Once you start to shift your view on this, you're going to start saying, "Holy crap! There is a lot of fucking coincidence out there. There's a good deal of coincidence out there," and the real the reality of it is that coincidence is replaced when you start to view things in a certain way with cause and effect form of thinking, in the way that, in the sense that you are somehow causing part of reality. I'm not saying you're causing everything in reality, but you can influence reality. And reality has its own, your personal experience, and your personal reality has its own life, right? And you can't. I would assume that a more evolved being couldn't probably control most aspects of reality, but we're probably in this, and I don't want to say simulation, but we're probably in this life to experience stuff, to learn, right? So reality has to have its own dynamic in order to be an experience, right? If you control everything in your experience, then you're not really having experience. So without being able to control everything, we can definitely influence things. And a lot of let's see, a lot of this term, like a lot of the way we're talking right now is going to bring a lot of people back to thinking about, the movie Matrix and stuff like that. And I actually think that one of the reasons that the movie had that movie's trilogy had a lot of success is because it's hitting on points that we find in our subconscious, right? Or unconsciously, we find true to be true, right? There's certain aspects. There's a lot said in the Matrix movies that we find true, and it has a lot to do with this awakening we're going through, and which brings me to our Great Awakening workshop, which that's the Great Awakening workshop is something that we're gonna be putting out soon in August, and that's going to be an open invite to anybody who wants to join that discussion. And plethora of coincidence equals certainty, as Aristotle points out. Oh, well said. Well said. A plethora of coincidence equals certainty, as Aristotle points out. Yeah. Love that. I do not remember that as an Aristotle quote. That's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. A plethora of coincidence. And I think what I was talking about before is that as soon as you start to see things through a certain prism of the fact that we interact with our reality, as soon as you start to see things through the prism of us interacting with our reality on some level and being able to influence our reality, that all that coincidence starts to be viewed in a different way, and it starts to be viewed in cause and effect and a certain level of certainty. A certain level of certainty. Did you like that one? So, guys, all day long, we are planting seeds. It starts with our thoughts and our mental processes and our intellectual engagement with our environment and how we interpret things, right? And those cause emotions which end up projecting out basically who we are and what we expect, our expectations of this reality we're living in, right? And that means that we're all day long, we're planting seeds on fertile ground. We're throwing out seeds. Don't throw out bad seeds, guys. You can grow a tomato plant or you can grow weeds. What do you want? You can grow out a fruit tree. You can throw out seeds for a fruit tree that will nourish you. Or you can, throw out seeds for a plant that's going to end up poisoning you, right? Stuff will germinate. Throw out the best seeds, only the good seeds, guys. So be aware of your thoughts, stand at the gates of your mind, and make your day. It's important to make each day a great day because, excuse me, I keep turning off the camera because I have this big, huge water bottle. So, we're throwing out seeds all day long. Think about, be aware of what you are focusing on. Again, not all mental activity can be considered thinking. Be aware of your mental activity. Be aware of, oh, that guy cut me off on the road. Now I'm supposed to be angry for 20 minutes. Or, maybe not 20 minutes, but now I'm going to be angry for 2 minutes. and that feeling is going to linger a little bit. And what's going to happen? That lingering feeling of being cut off on the road is going to affect my next interaction. Why? Because I am not being aware at the gates of my mind, right? And my next interaction, maybe with a loved one, is going to be slightly, very slightly. It's almost negligible sometimes, but it can be slightly affected by your previous experience, right? And which what I'm talking about here is your general mood. Your thoughts are going to create a general mood. And we're going to go back next, I think probably next time we're going to go back, write this down, PJ, because you forget. You forget. I'm going to talk this. I'm going to write it down. I'm writing it down right now. Next time, we're going to be talking about the components of attitude, which I've discussed before, but we're going to talk about it again. The components of attitude, right? Our thoughts, our actions, our feelings, and there's another magical fourth component of attitude, which I generally save for more in-depth discussion. But hey, Nemesis, good to see you. Hope you're doing well today too. And Troy Pacelli, good to see you, my friend. Troy is knocking it out of the park with his channel there. Good to see you, my friend. You're all over the place. You're on Liquid Lunch. You're late at night. You're on Netter's channel. You're on Doomcock's channel. Our friend Troy is knocking things out of the park. And congratulations on your anniversary, my friend, by the way. Yes, together we grow. Oh, I got to share a wonderful, awesome. Yeah, awesome, dude. Yeah, hit me up. There's an issue with a couple of people at work who violated their company practice and security rules. The company took swift, clear action. It's important to acknowledge it and their humble attitude. Well, that sounds like something positive, right? That they had a humble attitude about a mistake, right? And again, in your line of work, which I have, briefly been exposed in that line of work, security issues in certain lines of work have to be taken very seriously, right? And it sounds like they had it's good, positive attitude, a humble attitude. You should have a humble attitude if you screwed up, right, with a security issue. Troy's everywhere. All right, guys. So basically, to wrap up our little planetary coaching talk, we need to be vigilant. Stand guard at the gates of your mind. Be vigilant. And be aware of the mental processes that are going on. Be aware of the thinking that you are permitting, or you are engaging in, excuse me. Is it worth your while? Is it positive? Is it negative? How is it going to affect your mood? How is it going to affect that emotional mood that you are starting to project out, right? How does it affect your confidence? How does it affect your paranoia? How do things affect, is it affecting you positively? We can all identify positive and negative emotions. How is your mental activity affecting your mood? Hold on a second. How is your mental activity affecting your mood? When your mental activity is something that's not worthwhile, don't engage with it in what we would call thinking, valid engagement into negative areas or negative tones. It's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your interactions with people around you. It's going to affect on that more quantum mystical level. It's going to affect your little universe, your little reality. So all day long, you're planting seeds. All day long, you are planting seeds, right? You're throwing seeds on that fertile ground. Make sure you put down quality seeds. Make sure you don't entertain negative thoughts. Make sure you don't allow for progression of negative moods, because it's going to end up affecting your day, your reality, your relationships. You guys heard about Schrodinger's, that theory about Schrodinger's cat. The cat in the box is either alive or dead. And I want you guys to think about, I'm going to leave you with this thought. There's something in personal growth that in my coaching that I call Schrodinger's day, right? And you wake up in the morning and your day can be freaking amazing, or your day can be a disaster. And at every point of the day, you can decide that the cat in the box, right? Schrodinger's day, your day can turn out one way or can turn out another, right? This is the analogy to Schrodinger's cat. But what I call Schrodinger's day is being aware that your day can progress in an infinite amount of directions. Out of those infinite amount of directions, pick the positive ones, pick the good ones, pick the happy ones, pick the satisfying ones. What gives you joy? And when you see little tiny indications of negativity or stuff you don't like, don't focus on it too much, because if we engage, like our friend was saying before, interpretation. When you see little negative things and you start to interpret little negative aspects of your day and as with gloom and doom, right? Then you're going to start down a more negative path. And little tiny, or even not so tiny, but little aspects or negative aspects that you might find during the day doesn't mean that the day cannot improve. Doesn't mean even that those negative aspects can't melt away in certain ways, right? Or in many ways, or become insignificant. Those negative aspects can become insignificant. All right, guys. So our goal is to keep these coaching sessions short, and it's wonderful to see everybody in here today. We're going to be doing Latchcomb, starting up Latchcomb soon again. I want to talk about a lot of people have been talking about our friend Doomcock's comment about 10 days ago, I think, about the Orville being toast. And I think it's understandable that a lot of people are concerned about the Orville, and Doom is, I know Doom was concerned about the Orville not being able to come back. And lots of people are, but I don't think that's the case. Quite the contrary, actually. So we'll be talking about that kind of stuff on Latchcomb. And for our next Planetary Union session, as I already said, I wrote it down right here, and we're going to be talking about the components of attitude. Okay. And so I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. Maria, everybody, guys, thank you. Sandra, everybody who's been in here, popping in, and everybody who's been in here, guys, all you guys, and contributing to a wonderful discussion. Our evil Vulcan friend. Everybody who's been in here, guys, thank you for popping in. And we will see. Hey, Canadian Spider-Man, good to see you. Good to see you, Spidey. And Lady Mist, good to see you. Lady Mist made it. Good to see you, my friend. So we're going to be back really soon. And you guys have a wonderful.
What do you say there now, Misty Gal?
You had to get it in. You had to get it in hard. All right. So we want to be. Yeah, he had to say hi. So, guys, stand at the gates of your mind. Be vigilant. Think about or be aware of what you're thinking about. And think good thoughts. It's okay. It's okay. Like I said before, our mind works with association. It's okay if certain thoughts pop into your head. Don't stay there. Don't engage. Don't stay there. Say I don't like those thoughts. I don't like where those thoughts take me. I don't like where the mood that those thoughts put me in, and I don't like the reality that those thoughts create. So just check them. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay at the gates of your mind, vigilant, and be happy, and choose happiness, guys. All right. Where's our outro? Where's our outro? Let's see. Wow, StreamYard is really throwing me here with all the changes.
It's all I've got to say.
Unexplored space. I know you're all just as excited as I am, so let's give this